How's it going, guys? I'm Cody.
And I'm Eli.
And you're watching Critical Tutor. Today, we're going to be diving into Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft and everything we know about it so far.
So far, if we want to sum it up to start, it's 30 new domains, 2 subclasses, 3 player races, and a host of new backgrounds, plus 40 pages of monster bestiary.
There's a lot I'm excited about in this. We're going to break down each section and what we know about it so far. So starting off, we know that we have 30 different domains of dread, all different horror-themed settings that test the mettle and morals of your players. Like Strahd and his kingdom, each domain will feature its own twisted dark lord with goals and machinations of their own. So let's jump into those a bit, of the ones we know so far.
So far, some of the ones that have been spoiled are Lamortia, a frigid vision of mad science gone wrong.
And next we have Dementilu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it is a surreal dark fairy tale masquerades.
We have Kalakiri, the treachery and intrigue in the encounters of the dark rainforest.
And then we have Fokovnia and the endless zombie nightmares.
We've heard of Valachan, which is based off of the Most Dangerous Games.
And then we also, ones that we know the names of, or has been rumored names of anyway, is Sea of Sorrows and Darken. Information on those two are fairly limited at the moment. So to give you a little idea of like what to expect in these, like Fokovnia was another domain that features a vampire dark lord, and this need was already fulfilled by Barovia. So the team pivoted the realm to focus more on the modern horror theme, the zombie apocalypse. So they kind of have taken what we have known traditionally of Fokovnia and shifted it a little bit because we already had that vampiric lord, and now it's a zombie apocalypse. This is what I'm excited about because it makes me think of things you can take from there. The idea is that you have these overwhelming zombie hordes. Like, what do you do when you don't have enough spells and resources to fight off zombies? So, which domain are you most excited about that we know of so far?
I'm kind of interested to see where they take Kalakiri. The intrigue of the dark rainforest seems kind of unique.
Yeah, it's always weird because typically when you think of intrigue, you think of cityscapes and stuff when it comes to D&D. So having that in a rainforest setting similar to like Cholt seems very interesting to me.
In fact, you could even use it in Cholt as kind of a darker area.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like about these, is that you can create kind of your own world. And they actually give you rules of how to create your own dark realms. And so I was thinking of like different ways to pull from different pulp culture and include these realms or steal from them, if you will. So like Carnival Row or Eldraine for the fantasy fairy tale. If you're familiar with the the anime Kambaneri of the Iron Fortress, it's a very zombie focused where they like create settlements, masses of zombies, trains going through, and trains get you from one section to another. And while you're literally railroading your players in a sense, what you do in those settlements between and the encounters on the train, if they have to defend from zombies or whatnot, can make that a very interesting place to be. Again, if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, Innistrad is a completely new world that you can create with these rules. Even Pirates of the Caribbean with the Sea of Sorrow, you can create like the ghost ships, and they're like these undead pirates, I think would be a cool way to go with it. So I'm excited for those kind of options as a DM to build and use.
Yeah, because that allows you to expand on basically any campaign you want.
Yeah, and you can add it in pretty easily into those campaigns. Very much like Curse of Strahd uses the fog to pull players into it. You could set it up any campaign. Like I'm running Wildmount right now in a homebrew setting. I can place a way to get them into one of these pocket dimensions and it'll be a cool like mini subplot or some sub campaign within the campaign. But we've talked a bit about what this book has to offer for DMs. Let's jump into what this has to offer to the players.
So we do have 2 new subclasses. If you have D&D Beyond and Unearthed Arcana enabled, you may have gotten to test some of these. The College of Spirits Bard, a storyteller who controls and manipulates the power of spirits and folklore to change the past, as well as the Undead Pact Warlock for magic users that want to make a deal with something truly horrific at the cost of, just their soul. Additionally, you can also now create the Dampier, Hexblood, or Reborn character for races, which offer vampire, hag, and undead lineages. Players can inherit abilities throughout the campaign, which can be kind of interesting.
I think that's what interests me the most, is you can start out as human or Goliath or half-orc or whatever, and then over the course of the campaign, if it fits the narrative and the player is okay with it, they can get rid of that and kind of take on the vampiric type powers and have those abilities. I think the Reborn character, because I saw it described as very like Frankenstein, like you adding limbs and stuff, somewhat reminded me, if you've gotten the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, the Simic Conclave of the sciencey kind of manipulating genetics or whatever to make you more powerful, seems cool to me. Going on, other things that are in this book is we have new dark gifts, and this is expanded upon. It was mentioned in Curse of Strahd, and certain campaigns and DMs use this more than others. I know I didn't introduce it a ton in my campaign, but if you watch Puff and Forrest's Curse of Strahd replay series, we'll link that in the description. He talks about how his players are constantly getting new dark gifts. And what these are is basically they give you gifts and benefits, but has a certain cost. So some homebrewed examples where it's like lightning bolt, being able to cast that 3 times, but one side of your face sags and loses all feeling, kind of like you had a like stroke or something like that, like your face is sagging. It's a permanent flaw. Or memories from the past give you new abilities or skills, like being able to play a piano, because that's your past life. But the consequence is visions from that past life can distract you from the present. And if that happens at a bad time, like during a critical fight, that could be really bad for your character. So. And lastly, we have about 40 pages worth of new monsters to go with this, which, as a DM, I'm very excited by this book. I like books like this and what I'm expecting from Candlekeep Mysteries and what the last call of the Yawning Portal gave me, or the Yawning Portal, is it gives you adventures and dungeons and monsters that you can pull and place into a variety of settings that allows you to use stuff to increase your own homebrew campaigns, or even, like you said, introduce something into Cholt and just add on to those worlds.
So let us know in the comments what you're most excited for in this book or any of the other upcoming D&D content. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and really, if you want, hit that bell notification. We post videos every Thursday, so we'll see you next week.
See you next time.